Well, thank you, Anthony Jordan, and thank you, the top three IARMI cadet finishers. Now, we say this all the time. I would strongly advise you, anyone here in the paddock, and anyone just tuning in for the X30 races, to go back on the live stream at the end of today and look at not just what was being said there by the top three in that race, but what was going on behind them, behind Anthony Jordan. We try not to pick out drivers. The last time that Anthony Jordan interviewed Zach Drummond, it was 3 days before Christmas at a freezing cold Wilton Mill, and Zach Drummond had just won the Honda Cadet Championship. And, you know, behind the mask, you could see his eyes were full of tears, just so happy. And there were drivers congratulating him and hugging him and surrounding him as Anthony tried to do the winner's interview. And what about Jesse Phillips? I mean, you know, that young man has just driven the race of his life. And he's just saying, oh, and he's only, I think, 9-10 years old. And, you know, he's saying, oh, well, you know, I was lucky here and I was lucky there, you know, modest to a fault. And then Lewis Warrell, you know, you saw at the background there, other drivers coming over and just, you know, embracing Lewis. He's a really popular driver. He's very, very sporting. He's always supporting other drivers, as Lewis Warrell. And, you know, again, that support was returned to him, you know, when he was on the podium. You saw just, yeah, other drivers congratulating him. And again, these drivers, again, the cadets, the IARMI cadets, aged between 8 and 12 years old, and yet they produce racing that is second to none, and more often than not, sportsmanship that is second to none as well. Congratulations, well done, those drivers. They all thank their families, and I think that there's, you know, three very proud families there that have just watched that, and they should be proud indeed. So, moving on to Junior X30. So the age goes up, the testosterone goes up. 13, 14, 15 years old. Some of the youngest drivers, you know, just under 13 in this class. A full grid of Junior X30. You should be looking at poles at a Daniel Ginchard for the Argenti Motorsport team. Daniel, you know, doing double duty this year in both junior classes, Junior X30 and Junior Rotax, so he's a busy boy, is Daniel. Finished second at Shannington 2 weeks ago. There's a look down the grid. There's the number 22 kart of Charlie Rippin. Lewis Malin has chosen to rip the sleeves off his MLC Motorsport t-shirt for some ungodly reason, who knows why. But he's been going very well this year. There's the Mark Litchfield Racing number 18 kart of Jack Cox. Moving further down the order there, there's Brandon Templeton. He had to make it to the repechage earlier. He as did his teammate for Mick Barrett Racing, Freddie Allen, in kart number 66. So you get the inside. So again, drivers that we're looking for at the back of the grid: the 88 of Milo Pilfold, the 87 of Vinnie Phillips, the 47 of Jessica Edgar. There's Brandon Carr. Now, Brandon Carr started the pre-final from pole position and spun on the opening lap. He's just seen his Fusion Motorsport teammate Zach Drummond win the cadet race. Now, from 22nd on the grid, what can Brandon do to make it up in towards the top 10? A little look at last year's Junior X30 results here at Kimbolton. It was Daryl De Leon, who won the final for MLC Motorsport. Bart Harrison was second for Mick Barrett Racing, and Archie Walker was third for Argenti Motorsport. Well, Taylor De Leon has now moved up to seniors. Harrison, still with the Mick Barrett team, he starts third for this one. And Archie Walker, number 91, he now drives a KR Sport, and he starts on the inside of row number 7. Just a reminder, at Shannington 2 weeks ago was Olivier Algieri for Dan Holland Racing, who won the race, followed by Dan Ginchard and Jessica Edgar. We've already said that Edgar starts back in 30th. Ginchard goes from pole, and Algieri, who admits he's not the most experienced driver around here, he starts 10th. There, for me, is the driver of the class so far. Number 51, Matthew High, for premium karting on the outside of the front row of the grid. Hyde, 10th of the championship. He has been absolutely ballistic, very, very mature driving. And Sam Shaw, his teammate, who starts directly behind him in the number 7 kart, Sam won one of his heat races. There's a look of concentration, total focus on the eyes of Sam Shaw. He's got his teammate in front of him. The problem is that the apex to turn 1 is on the other side of the track to where they're starting. How do we get over? How do we not get squeezed wide? How do we get in front of that man who leads the grid to the line? Daniel Ginchard starts from pole position alongside Matthew Hyde, the best that Hyde has ever started. Then it's Bart Harrison and Sam Shaw on row number 2. Kanato Lee from Japan and Fionn McLaughlin from Ireland on row 3. Harvey Ryby and Marcus Luzio on row number 4. Then it's Lorenzo Cordal and Olivier Algieri on row 5. Charlie Rippin and Harry Burgoyne Jr. from Scotland on row number 6. Archie Walker and Scotland's Oliver Stewart on row 7. Then it is Connor Duncan and James Barty on row 8. Jack Cox and Aidan Lynn on row 9. Vinnie Lloyd Chamberlain and Charlie Webb round out to the top 20 on the grid. Brandon Templeton and Brandon Carr are on row 11. Rhys Lomax and Gabriel Stilp, row 12. Row 13 will have Freddie Allen and Harry Pears. Then it's Rhys Newburn and Nathan Clifford rounding out the top 14 rows of the grid. Michael Rapsey and Jessica Edgar are next. Vinnie Phillips and Josh Agambar on row 16. Milo Pilfold, Minnie Herb and Alfie Briggs start shotgun on the field. This, Anthony Jordan, could be yet another cracking go-kart race. Here we go. Lights are out. We're off and racing.
Great start then from the entirety of the field as we run down into there. One of the KR Sport carts getting nerfed out wide. It was the number 11. Luzio there. A bit of contact in the midfield.
Dear.
Oh, and 2 carts off. The 74 heavy front end damage into the wall there. Driver is getting out of the kart. It looks okay, and the 88 involved as well. That's
Alfie Briggs in the tyre barriers and Milo Pilfold. They started on the last row of the grid. So the 2 drivers that started shotgun on the field, they've fired a blank in this one, and they're both out of the race as we've got yellow flags waving at the start-finish line. Oh, no, that's Josh Agambar in kart number 14. He was another driver, had problems in the pre-final, and we've got a Battenberg flag wave.
Yep.
So the caution flag is out. Alfie Briggs does get going. So now what will happen? Now Briggs, well, what a lucky break, if you can call it that, for Alfie Briggs. So now Daniel Ginchard, the race leader, the pole sitter, will act as the pace cut. The field will slow down. Alfie Briggs, that number 74, has got to put the pedal to the metal and get around to catch up the field as much as he can, because the Milo Pilfold's kart has been removed. If there's no other karts off track around the circuit, and I don't think there are, then Briggs, who crosses the line now, will do his level best to catch the field, and I think he will. So let's have a little look again, Anthony, at what happened at the start.
So yeah, you could just see it here. Happens later on, yeah, you could just see one tries to turn in, one can't turn in, because I think something's already broken and kind of hit the wall airborne there. And it just got sucked underneath that wall there. So yeah. Drama at the start. And of course, last time out, we also had a Battenberg flag, a full course yellow, in the final for Junior X30 at the start. So
well remembered.
Carbon copy.
Yes, indeed, we did. Now, what Ginchard has got the field, so it's Ginchard, Hyde, Harrison, Lee, Shaw, Cordal, McLaughlin, Luzio, Walker and Burgoyne. Green flag out again, off and racing. Ginchard having to defend. Matthew Hyde trying to go around the outside. Now it's important. Matthew Hyde, he's running in exalted company. This is the highest up that he has ever been in the Vera Tools British Kart Championship. I was going to say, don't overdrive it and let the pressure get to you. He's just taking the race lead.
Hyde there with a cheeky thumbs up saying, thank you for that, I'll take that. And it's all getting a bit scrappy now. I don't think Ginchard liked that thumbs up because he's fighting straight back. Can't get past, though, as they're going to down Weldon Corner. Stays behind, and a very long train of karts enters the TKM straight.
Yeah, Alfie Briggs getting a warning flag, so he's back and caught the field again, but he's been sort of deemed culpable for that first corner incident that took out Milo Pilfold and delayed himself. So Hyde leads at the end of lap number 3. We've still got 12 minutes to go. Here comes Dan Ginchard. Oh, Matthew Hyde was about to turn in, and Ginchard was there, and good thinking there from Matthew Hyde to not squeeze the issue. Kanato Lee up into second for Strawberry Racing.
Yeah, great running there from Kanato Lee. Jessica Edgar, though, fastest lap of the race in the 47 with a 43.660. Doing great work there from the back of the field. Of course, a lot of work to do to get back up to that top end of the spectrum. But a long train of Junior X30s exit and enter the TKM straight. You can see the 66 going incredibly defensive into the top section there, into the penultimate corner. That is Freddie Allum, and a lot of work that needs to be done. Still over 11 minutes to go of this final, and plenty of work yet to come our way, but drama at the beginning.
Yeah, and can you believe the last time that Strawberry Racing had a podium in Junior X30 was the last round of 2019. Joseph Taylor won at Kimbolton at Wilton Mill for them. They went the entire 2020 season without a single podium in this class. The number 19 car, Kanato Lee, looking to change that as Sam Shaw now moves into third place ahead of his teammate. There's Oliver Stewart, the number 17, the Jade Racing team entry. And lots of battling going on as they come out of the final corner. But Sam Shaw, podium winner, podium finisher at Mansell Raceway last year. The only time that premium karting have stood on the podium in this class. Sam Shaw trying to wrestle the lead away from Daniel Ginchard, and there's a little bit of jostling as a Marshall just moving out of the way there. There's Hyde, who slipped back to fourth place. Ginchard, however, he's like he's pressed the pressed the afterburners and has gone.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, he's broken away now. Hasn't got the largest gap in the world. He's only 0.8 of a second, but that is still better than no tenths of a second, isn't it? So, but a clear gap forming at the front then. So Ginchard, with another fastest lap of the race, is slowly increasing that lead. Sam Shaw still there in second place for premium karting. Matthew Hyde as well, just behind, also premium karting. Alex Lynn, the 48, with a black and white warning flag again, so something the stewards aren't happy with. Kanato Lee still doing well for Strawberry Racing. They're still in fourth place, but has the close company of Bart Harrison, who is a very competitive driver on this grid from Mick Barrett Racing, is right there in fifth place.
Well, yeah, Bart Harrison, he came in, obviously third in the championship last year. There's a move. He now moves past Kanato Lee into fourth position. But Harrison didn't have a great weekend at Shellington. He's only 15th in the championship standings. Coming into today, now Ginchard is going to be extending his championship lead every lap at the moment. He is leading by 0.6 of a second. Sam Shaw has got to get his head down and work. And you can see Shaw breaking away from Hyde, his teammate, who's in third place. Harrison fourth, Kanato Lee fifth. And then into sixth position, Fionn McLaughlin. Of course, Fionn McLaughlin, who missed most of last season just because of COVID, couldn't travel back and forth from Ireland. Back with a vengeance this year. There is a rather sorry-looking empty go-kart. And I think that was Alfie Briggs's Praga, which goes no further. Oh, sideways through turn number one. A little bit of bumping and boring back in the pack as Harrison now with the new fastest lap, 42.69 seconds. And Harrison closing in on Matthew Hyde in fourth place. They've broken a bit away from Kanato Lee. Sam Shaw, meanwhile, has closed in on Daniel Ginchard by 0.1 of a second. So Danny Sweeney and the rest of the Argenti Motorsport team are going to be now beginning to get a little bit hot under the collar, as it were, as Ginchard's lead begins to come down.
Indeed it does. So 0.6 of a second it is. Could this be down to tyre wear on the on these karts? Of course, you've got to remember the track's very abrasive. Yep. It's been hot all day. The track temperature has only been going up, and the tyres have only been wearing down all the way through this day. And I suspect they're getting to the end of their life.
Yeah, and you heard Theo Hesketh when he was talking to you at the end of the TKM Extreme race, saying that the cart had gone off, the tyres had gone, he was sort of hanging on at the end of it. Could be that be the case as Fionn McLaughlin runs a bit wide coming out of Kestrel corner there. That's going to put him back into the clutches of Lorenzo Cordal. So Lorenzo Cordal for the Cato Motorsport team. They did so well in this class last year with Luke Watts. Luke Watts now moved on, and Lorenzo Cordal stepping into Luke Watts' shoes for the Cato Motorsport team. Up into Marcus Lucio. Now Marcus Lucio recovering. Lucio in the number 11 kart started 8th. Saw him run very wide at the first corner, and he runs a little bit wide there. And that is the number 34 kart trying to get to the inside. That is James Barty for Precision Racing. Barty got on the podium here at Kimbolton 2 years ago in Junior TKN. Now into Barty. And Barty trying out a Junior X30, loses a place there at the 52. So let's have a little look further down the order. We're on lap number 12. 6 minutes to go. It's Ginchard, Shaw, Harrison, Hyde, your top 4. Then it's Canato Lee in 5th. McLaughlin runs 6th, followed by Cordal. Archie Walker is 8th. Oliver Stewart 9th, and Connor Duncan rounding out the top 10. 11th is Harry Burgoyne Jr. Then it's Charlie Rippon in 12th. Barty is 13th. Lucio 14th. Harvey Ryby is 15th. Brandon Carr has made it up to 16th place ahead of Reese Lomax. Olivier Algieri down to 18th, followed by Jessica Edgar from 30th to 19th. Then it's Jack Cox, Brandon Templeton, Aidan Lynn, Josh Agambar, Gabriel Stilp, Charlie Webb, Vinnie Lloyd-Chamberlain, Freddie Allen, Harry Pears, Nathan Clifford, and last year's Mini X30 champion, Vinnie Phillips, still all the way back in 30th position. Obviously, he has been off track, and his fastest lap is, well, 43.1. It's half a second off the pace. Rhys Newman is 32nd, Michael Rapsey 33rd, Alfie Briggs and Milo Pilfold out of the race.
Yep, so lots happening then all the way through this. Like you say, 13 laps completed at the moment. Just about 4.5 minutes remaining, plus that one lap, and still everyone is just in a slotted position. We're in the loo moment at the moment, aren't we?
The calm before the storm.
Yes, indeed, the calm before the storm. Connor Duncan, though, fastest lap of the race with the number 41, 42.680. Currently running in 10th place, so a great running from him so far this year. You can just see him there at the back of this shot in that 41 car. Thinking, says the number 29 of Fionn McLaughlin.
And there's a move further back. Connor Duncan moving into place from Aberdeenshire. Duncan in the number 41. Interesting when we talk about whose drivers are the heroes. A lot of the drivers say Lewis Hamilton, Mark Schumacher, what have you. Connor Duncan said the late great Jim Clark is his hero. There we go. Now into Derricks.
Indeed.
Canato Lee fending off the very, very well driven number 20 car of Lorenzo Cordal. Smart looking crash helmet, I've got to say, from Lorenzo. I like that style. It's very distinctive indeed. There's Archie Walker. And here comes Lorenzo Cordal having a little nibble up the inside of Canato Lee, but no. Canato.
Good defensive drive. It looked like the gap was very much open there and he was going for the lunge, but just Canato Lee covered it off quite nicely and prevented that move from happening.
Yep, and well, Daniel Ginchard leading. Question coming in, is he 13 or 14 years old? Well, I think he's one of the older juniors. He was a junior last year, so he's going to be 14, pushing 14, 15. So he's certainly not 13, so he's 14, 15. There we go. Out of Dan Weldon's. There's Oliver Stewart again. You know, Grandma Stewart. Lovely shortbreads.
Yes.
She bakes.
Yes.
Lovely shortbreads. Yes, please.
Please stop reminding that you stole them from me.
I didn't steal them from you. I stole them from Chris Walker from kartpicks.net,
right.
the official championship photographer. Well, he actually gave me one, you know. But he had a whole tin full. There we go. Here, back to the racing. Canato Lee under pressure. Here comes Archie Walker to the inside, coming to Derrick's corner. Walker, the KR Sport team, makes the move. Now, that puts Archie into 5th position. 2 minutes to go. Dan Ginchard's lead is down to less than half a second. Sam Shaw, he's been quiet. He's bided his time, and that's typical Sam Shaw. He's not the most imposing driver out of the paddock. Keeps himself to himself. Always polite, always quiet. Lets his driving do the talking, and he's closing in. He's put a gap between himself and third place driver Bart Harrison. Matthew Hyde is still there in 5th position. So Sam Shaw, about 11 months on from, 10 months on from your only Vera Tools British Kart Championship podium so far. Now is a great chance to take your first series victory, but you're going to have to wrestle it away from Dan Ginchard, which is no mean task. Into Kimbolton corner with 90 seconds to go.
Here we go then as they cross the line. I'm sure Sam Shaw is thinking about surely going for
Are you sure?
I'm sure he could be.
Excellent stuff.
We'll find out because he's incredibly close now. It's just 0.3 of a second is the gap. 1 minute plus that one additional lap. We've still got at least 3 laps of racing here at Kimbolton for the Junior X30 Final, race 28 of the weekend, and it's all down to what can happen at these two. The 49 of Daniel Ginchard and the 7 of Sam Shaw. The number 3 of Bart Harrison for Mick Barrett Racing is still in contention there. You can see him in the background as well with close company of Matthew Hyde, and the 51 for Premium Karting is just behind as well. So it's a Premium Karting at the moment, 2nd and 4th on circuit.
What a great performance for that team.
Yeah, I know. Great result from them. 30 seconds left on the timer, though. Anything can happen still.
Down through the willows for the 20th time. Sam Shaw is about 6 kart lengths behind Dan Ginchard. Into Derek's corner. Now, there is a look at the number 41 of Connor Duncan on your screens. Duncan is up into 8th place. And he is chasing 7th place Oliver Stewart and 6th place Kanato Lee. So Lee struggling. That search for a podium for Strawberry Racing is going to go on a little bit longer because the last lap board has gone out and Dan Ginchard leads Sam Shaw into turn number 1. Here we go. Out of Stowe Corner into the willows. Let's have a look at the trajectory of the karts. Get the back end of the kart not stepping out too much. Ginchard checks over his shoulder, doesn't defend, coming into Derek's. Sam Shaw's going to have to put together a great complex of corners. Out into Dan Weldon's corner we go. Let's look to the back end of the number 49 kart step out. It does just a little bit, and he checks over his shoulder again, and you can see Sam Shaw head down. 1 corner to go. I think though Ginchard has just about done enough. Shaw piles it into the final corner, but he's not quite enough. And Daniel Ginchard takes his first Junior X30 win of the season here at Kimbolton. Sam Shaw, what a drive. 3rd place across the line there was Bart Harrison. And look at this battle. There's Lucio Algieri coming to the line as they cross the line. Further back, it was Harrison in 3rd. Harrison, well, we're next going to see Bart Harrison in the CIK FIA Academy, where he is Team UK's representative in that championship. Matthew Hyde, what a result. There's the 2 Premium Karting teammates shaking hands there. So Hyde finishes 4th, best ever for him. Archie Walker salvages 5th for KR Sport from 13th on the grid. Good stuff there. Then it is Kanato Lee and the 2 Scotsmen, Connor Duncan and Oliver Stewart, are next. Fionn McLaughlin is 9th, followed by Lorenzo Cordal rounding out the top 10. Harry Burgoyne Jr. and Harvey Ryby run 12th. There you see on your screens Barty, Carr, Agambar, Algieri, Lucio and the rest. So Shannington winner Olivier Algieri finishing 16th. Shannington 3rd place driver Jessica Edgar finishing 19th. Reese Lomax, double duty for Reese, he finishes 20th after taking the top 10 finish in Junior TKM. Further back, Vinnie Phillips got up to 24th at the end. Bad luck there for Charlie Rippin at the end. He slips back to 25th. And sadly, we had an issue at the end for Jack Cox, who failed to finish. Gabriel Stilp fell back all the way to 31st. Alfie Briggs and Milo Pilfold. And you can see that, there's Daniel Ginchard. Mask on. There's technical director Ernie Salmon overseeing things. Anthony Jordan. Don't tell him I said his name was Andrew. You'll only get upset. Anthony Jordan is winging his way down to the pits to speak to Mr. Ginchard, and I have to say that from our commentary position, you know, see that our Gently team boss Danny Sweeney was standing just below us, and he started the race standing still, and then by the end of the race he was simply pacing back and forth on the sort of the raised concrete strip that he was standing on. He's worn a little trench in it as the nerves came there. But I mean, great result for Sam Shaw as well, and for his premium karting team. But the happiest man extending his championship lead after 2 rounds, Dan Ginchard, he is with our man Anthony Jordan.
Thank you very much, Henrietta, in the commentary box. I'm sure it's quite warm up there. Daniel Ginchard, what a race that was. Again, a tough battle all the way to the end with the heat bearing down on us. Penultimate race of the day, but a great result and a great end to this weekend.
Yeah, Sam was really, really fast the whole time. I was just trying to not make many mistakes, trying to keep consistent every lap and just held the gap the same, but it was so hard in the hot conditions.
Now, again, the start of this race, we had another full course yellow. It's the same as what we had at Shennington. We started the race with a full course yellow. Again, it's just going through your mind of how that starts. You know, your restart again. It looked like you bolted quite early, but Sam did still get the jump of you at the exit, but you got back at him quite straight away. But a tough start to the restart.
Yeah, I was surprised that the Battenberg went straight away, to be honest. I thought it would have been at least 2 laps, but, you know, I still got the lead after it, so it was not too bad.
No, a great result again, and yeah, a fantastic result there. First win for the Junior X30s. Anything you'd like to say to the fans and folks at home?
Thank you to Argenti Motorsport and Aventus Power for all the support they've given me so far this season.
Excellent stuff. Well done, Daniel Ginchard.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. So, let's talk to our second place man, Sam Shaw. Mr. Shaw, we weren't sure whether or not you were surely going to make it to second place on the podium, but surely enough, you did.
Yeah. No, it was a good race. I struggled. I got a bit of a bad start. I got pushed out a bit, and then I was in 5th on the Battenberg, and I just slowly made my way up to 2nd. And I was trying to catch Dan, but I couldn't quite towards the end. I made a couple of mistakes towards the end, but overall a good weekend, and happy with the pace.
Now, the restart again, like you say, you're having a great little battle with Dan. Talk us through it from your point of view, because again, it was a sudden. It cleared very quickly, as Dan mentioned.
Yeah, it cleared off very quickly, and then me and him managed to break away, and then he just didn't make a mistake all race. I was waiting for him to make a slight mistake so I could get on him. He was staying like 1-2 kart lengths, and I just couldn't quite get close enough to go for a move. But no, well done to him, and good race.
A great result for yourself, and of course the Precision or the Premium Karting team as well. Anything you'd like to say to the fans at home?
I'd just like to say thanks to Premium Karting, Aventus Power, my sponsors, Vuba, and my family.
Excellent stuff. Very well done on second place.
Thank you.
Spot on. Great to talk to Sam Shaw there. Now, Bart Harrison in his very recognisable helmet. You were just having a chat there. I'll take you away. But a tough race on that one. You've still got your helmet on. It must be absolutely boiling in there. I can see you sweating under away. But yeah, a great result still with 3rd place.
Yeah, it was okay. There's a bit of a complication on the restart with the flags, and I'd slowed down by the time they put the greens out, and I lost some places because of it. But we drove back from that, and I'll try and get a win at Larcool to make up for what happened in the race.
Yeah, again, a very tough weekend with the hot weather, but a fantastic result for you and the Mick Barrett Racing guys, and yeah, I'm sure you can be happy with that one with the 3rd place.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, anything you'd like to say to the fans at home? Anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Mick Barrett Racing and my trainer Mark, my mind coach Louise, and my parents for coming.
Excellent stuff. Well done. Very well done for Bart Harrison there. Well, an excellent result then for the Junior X30s. A dramatic near end to the day. But it's time now for the final race of the weekend here at Kimbolton. It's time for the Senior X30s.
So the next class for their presentation is Junior X30. Finishing as the top privateer, I hope he's here, 29th overall, it's Harry Pears. Nope, don't think Harry's been able to make the presentation. Now we move on to the best placed rookie in the race, a fantastic result. 4th place overall for Premium Karting's Matthew Hyde. That's all right. Well, Matthew, watching the wires. Oh, sorry, Chris. Oh, sorry. Now on to the top 3 overall. Finishing in 3rd place, the number 3 seed and this year's UK representative in the CIK Karting Academy, it's Bart Harrison. Now on to the top 2. There was a race-long chase between the top 2, just missing out by 0.3 of a second on this occasion, but finishing in P2, it's Premium Karting Sam Shaw. So on to our race winner here at Kimbolton, representing Argenti Motorsport and his winning mechanic Curtis Gregory, it's Daniel Ginchard. Congratulations, your junior X30 podium here, round 2 of the Vera Tools British Kart Championship at Kimbolton. Congratulations.